Okay, let's get started. Hello, everyone!
Hello!
Welcome to We Don't Watch Movies with me, Monze.
And me, Corinne.
Yay! Bum, 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 bum.
Is
Anyway,
that just the Skype ringtone?
Is that the Skype ringtone?
It kind of sounds like the Skype ringtone.
I was just doing one of my classic "This Is Now the Theme Song" songs. If that is the Skype ringtone, apologies to Microsoft. Do not sue me. I have no money.
Yeah.
Literally. Okay, so today you're recording, right?
I'm recording.
You would have stopped me like 10 minutes
Are
ago.
you recording?
Yes.
Okay, great. We're recording.
Amazing.
I love that we checked this after we began the episode.
It doesn't matter. We can edit this out. We are probably not going to, but it's a possibility.
Yeah.
So this week we're continuing with the spooky movies. Because it's Halloween. Ooh, when these episodes are being released. So we're doing my movies today, a movie I have seen, Corinne has not seen, and we are going to be talking about the greatest movie ever made.
Oh my goodness.
The Pope's Exorcist.
Wow. Big claim. I'm excited.
Big claim. This movie is awful, and I love it. It's so dumb, and I'm excited.
That's honestly high praise for a horror movie coming from you.
Yeah, I guess.
Because we are not horror movie
We're not horror movie
aficionados.
people. I think I knew that it was dumb, so when I went into it, I was expecting all the dumb things that happened.
Yeah.
And it just hit. It just hit.
It gave you what you wanted.
It gave me what I wanted. You know, like when you went to go see Twisters.
Yeah,
it gave you what you wanted.
Twisters is actually an amazing movie. Twisters is actually a film of like cinematic caliber.
All right, well, you can talk about Twisters next week because we're talking about my cinematic masterpiece, Pope's Exorcist. So, Corinne, dumb question. What? This stupid little hair. Why have you not seen The Pope's Exorcist?
Because it's scary.
Always.
I'm not watching any movie with the title that includes Exorcist.
Exorcist in the title?
Yeah. I arguably
really
would not watch any movie with Pope in the title.
That's so specific. I understand Exorcist, but okay, Pope.
Well, because, like, I feel like Pope, it's a toss-up. It's either going to be, like, a horror movie, like The Nun, right? The Pope, you know? Or it's like a weird religious movie. And I don't want to watch either of those things. Or it's like a drama. Or it's a docu-series or documentary. And honestly, I probably still wouldn't watch it if it was a drama. I would watch it if it was a documentary series. Because then I'm like, this is going to be about religious controversy. Unless it's a biopic or biographical docu-series about one of the popes, and I don't care. Unless it's like a horrible pope, then I would care. But yeah, I haven't watched it because it's scary, and I have no desire to watch anything exorcism related.
Okay, anyway, I just want to say, so Russell Crowe is in this movie.
Oh my goodness.
And I think it's really funny because this year on Netflix as well, he just released another film called The Exorcism. And I'm not going to lie, I was like, is this part of the series of this movie?
Uh-huh.
It's not. So that is just completely...
Wait, is he in the remake for The Exorcism?
Is there an original movie called The Exorcism? I don't know anything. Unless you're about The Exorcist.
I'm thinking of The Exorcist.
Okay.
Is The Exorcism related to The Exorcist?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
So wait, Russell Crowe is in a Netflix series.
No. It's a movie.
He's in a Netflix movie called The Exorcism.
Yes. And he's also in a Netflix and another Netflix movie called The Pope's Exorcist.
Oh, so these are both Netflix movies.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yes. The plot thickens.
The plot thickens indeed. Okay.
The continuity.
So it's not there actually. Okay, so you haven't seen it because it's scary.
Yeah.
Corinne, what do you think this movie is going to be about?
I think the Pope is haunted.
You know what? I was going to stop you and say, I think whatever you come out with is better what happens in this movie. But then you said the Pope is haunted. And you know what? I fucking take it back.
I think the Pope is possessed.
Okay.
And he needs an exorcism.
Okay.
I don't think this is actually what the movie's about, but the idea of the Pope being possessed and he needs to be exorcised is really funny to me. So I'm sticking to it. That's my joke. That's what I wish the movie was about. That like Velocipaster, where like the pastor turns into dinosaur. Like I hope it's about the Pope is possessed and he needs to exorcise. What it probably is about is a Pope is committing exorcisms for people who are possessed. I think that's probably what it's about, is the Pope is the one doing the exorcising and not the one who needs the exorcism.
Okay, hold on. So you think Russell Crowe is the Pope?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to clarify, like, is that what we're going for? Okay.
He is the Pope in either scenario. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Anything else?
Probably not. Either that or maybe he's a regular priest and then they have to get to the Pope because the exorcism is just too crazy for him. So only the Pope
We need to get to the Pope. We need to save him. We need more exorcists.
No. Like he's got like a child, but they're like literally possessed by the devil, and he's like, I do regular exorcisms, but this is like a Category 5 exorcism, and I can't handle
Category
that.
5 exorcism.
Yeah. So they have to get to the Pope to do the exorcism. I don't know. Those are my three possible ideas.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I am going to say... No, I'm not going to say it yet. All right.
Okay. I have to watch this trailer.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to link you the trailer. So there's a little boy in there, and he looks pretty jacked up. That's why I said ugh, because that's the starting image of this trailer.
Okay, how jacked up are we talking? Can you describe it?
His eyes are creepy, and he's got cuts all over his face.
Okay.
I don't think there's violence in the
I'm just gonna make
trailer.
the screen itty bitty.
Okay, itty bitty. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready, and I can press play on this thing.
It started against my will. And I saw the kid at a larger size than I wanted.
Right? He's creepy looking.
Is this Jacob Tremblay?
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Oh, the Pope's Exorcist.
Yes.
I thought this was the Pope's Exorcism.
No! It's called the Pope's
This ruins
Exorcist.
all of my predictions.
That's why I thought it was really funny. But I mean, it still works. Like the Pope's Exorcist, like you're possessed and you need an exorcist. All right, let me know when you press play.
Okay, I'm ready. 1, 2, 3, go. Ew.
Don't you love Russell Crowe's Italian accent?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't stress enough how small the screen is on my monitor right now. It's like this big.
I can't stress enough.
It's smaller. It's like the size of my phone on a big computer. Oh my god, she's dead. That was not the exorcism. Is he Russian? What the hell?
He's supposed to be Italian?
Not required. He sounds Russian. Okay.
Of Father Gabriele Morte. Chief
Exorcist of the Vatican.
What is the problem?
He's the exorcist in chief.
His boss is the Pope. Talk to my boss, the Pope.
Ew.
Oh yeah, he spits up a bird.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Bring me the breeze. Oh.
They brought you secrets buried there.
Buried where? The catacombs?
In that buried where? In that place you saw.
Oh, it was so dark I could barely tell. Ew.
Oh, and plus you have it so itty bitty.
Yeah, really. I'm like, don't touch the skeleton, bruh. You've been played.
Uh-oh.
I didn't know the demon could talk like that. Okay. Oh my god. We saw this bit in the beginning.
Yeah, it was like a weird intro. I don't know why they did an intro to the trailer.
The devil is possessing the Exorcist. Okay. Alright, some creepy thing. It's Mary. It's not Mary.
Did you just say Hail Mary?
I said it's Mary, and then I was like, it's not Mary.
Yeah, it was Mary, and then she turned out not to be Mary.
Alright.
Alright, Corinne.
Exiting out of that. Okay. There's a boy.
Yeah, do you want to change anything?
I'm changing. There's a boy, and he's fucked up.
Fucked up.
He's fucked up. And he's possessed by a demon or Lucifer. I don't know. He's possessed by a demon. And for some reason, his mom and his sister keep staying in the room where all this is happening. I'm like, you should leave.
Want to be in the room where it
Well, like, I don't, like, they especially, like, if it's a repeat occurrence that they keep getting just, like, force choked by him, they should leave the room. Why are you
force choked once? I'm gone.
Well, like, they know the creepy shit is happening.
Force choked me once, shame on you. Force choked me twice, shame on me.
Shame on you again. I don't know, they should not be in the room. It should just be him and him. Anyways, and they have, this is a Category 5 exorcism, so they want the Pope's personal exorcist, the highest of the exorcists. Maybe the film starts off with, like, an exorcist that tries to exorcise this kid, but it's too much for him. So they're like, the Pope like that person dies or whatever. So they're like, we need another person to do it. Who can we ask?
We need to bring out the big guns.
Yeah, as they get like a business card from someone, and they're like, you need to talk to the Pope's exorcist. And then we get like the shot of Russell Crowe. It's either that or it shows like Russell Crowe successfully doing an exorcism, and that's why he's the best. We have to establish he's good, and then we get him, and he talks to this kid, and he's like, oh, this is a really big deal. This isn't a Category 5 exorcism, it's a Category 6 exorcism. So he's researching what to do, goes to that creepy house. Maybe that creepy house is where they used to live. But it's a trap, apparently, according to the demon. I feel like maybe the Pope's exorcist, they do that thing where it's like, I released the demon from the child, but now I have the demon inside me, so now I gotta figure out what to do with the demon in me, right? So it goes into, maybe it doesn't go into Russell Crowe, it goes into someone else, and then but it does go into him at some point, because he's bleeding weird shit, and then he sees, like, the weird Mary figure that's not Mary at all. Maybe what they're trying to do is the demons have heard of this Pope exorcist guy, so they want him, they want to possess him. So they possess they have this long con plan, this like 10 spreadsheet plan, where they possess the little boy, knowing that it's going to be too much for anyone except for him. He's the only one with the hubris to try it. And then, but they want to ultimately possess him. So he plays right into their trap. So they're like, we got you. Now we have you. And now we can kill the Pope through you. And bring about the Antichrist. I don't know. But then he somehow defeats it. I think he defeats it by killing himself. I don't know if he lives in the end. I don't know if it's that kind of movie. But maybe he survives. He, like, battles himself and then expels it from him. Or he dies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I think happens.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You ready?
I'm ready to find out what happens.
Okay. I really wish I had time to rewatch this because I could go super in depth. I was able to watch maybe the first 20 minutes. I was scrubbing through, so we're just gonna.
Okay.
So, the film opens with the title card, and it says, "When we jeer at the devil and tell ourselves he does not exist, that is when he is happiest."
Okay.
And this is a quote from Father Gabriel Amort. Okay. And he was the chief exorcist from like 1986 to like 2016.
So is this a real person?
This film, yes, is based on a real guy, a real priest, a real exorcist. He wrote like a book or something.
He actually worked for the Pope?
Yeah.
He worked for John Paul II?
We're gonna go. We're gonna keep going. I just want you to know. All right? So it is June 4th, 1987. We're in Tropea, Italy. Beautiful countryside.
Beautiful countryside.
And who do we see?
Russell Crowe.
But Father Gabriel Amort, a.k.a. Russell Crowe, stepping off of a moped. And he's got his little bag. And this is clearly like a small town, right? Very like poor, all of that. He sees like a big pig outside, and he's like, "That's a good-looking fella." Whatever.
Okay. I'm waiting for
it's a nice, handsome pig.
I'm waiting for the symbolism of this pig to come back later.
Okay. So, and it reveals like he comes into the house and he takes off his hat and it's like, Russell Crowe. Okay.
Indeed.
So he goes in there, and like the parents are like, "Oh, we're so scared." And there's like this little girl, and she's drawing or whatever. He's like, "Do me a favor and pray our Father," or whatever. And he's speaking in Italian. In Italiano, because he's Italian.
But with a Russian affectation.
Russell Crowe is honestly just living his best life right now, and I really just admire him for that.
That's what he does in every single movie.
Everything. He's in his fat Marlon Brando phase, you know. That's who he is right now, and we just have to, like, it's his world we're just living in, you know? So.
He's doing paycheck movies, and we have to respect it.
Yeah, honestly, yes. Because even though, like, these movies are not good, he still is just amazing to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like, wow. Even when you're phoning it in, goddamn. So, there is this guy tied to the bed. And again, it's like a small, so it's sort of like you'd see the bed like right away.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be a teenager, just because the sister is so young. She's like 8, but to me, he looks like a grown ass man.
Okay.
Like he's probably in his 30s or whatever.
Oh.
So I don't know if that's true or that's
what the hard life does to you, Monze.
Yeah, when you're possessed, it ages you. And he's talking to like the local priest, and he's like, "So this is a possession?" He's like, "Yes." He's like, "What? How do you know it's a possession?" He's like, "He's speaking in English or whatever." And Father Amort or Gabriel or Russell Crowe is like, "Do they have a television in the house?" And he's like, "Yeah." So he's just like, "Okay." So basically, Father Amort doesn't think it's an actual exorcism, right?
Yeah.
He just thinks the kid is mentally unwell.
Yeah.
So he's talking to the kid in Italian, and the kid is speaking in English, and the kid's basically like, "Satan, whatever." And he's like, "Prove it, whatever." They bring the pig in.
See, the pig.
Yeah, the pig does come back. The pig comes back. I just need you to know. And you know how they're like, "Tell me your name," because, you know, if you know the demon's name, you can get rid of it.
Yeah.
So, like, the kid tells him his name or whatever, I think. And he's like, oh, if you're so powerful, then, like, go into the pig, possess the pig, or something. So the kid's like, "Wah!" So finally he, like, drops because he possessed the pig.
Yeah.
And Amort, like, shoots the pig in, like, the head, and the pig dies. And he's just like, okay, you're no longer possessed, boy. Like, you know. It's like, yay, he did it! Right? But still kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So then, cut to 1980s pop music over the ocean.
So that was the exorcism? Okay.
Yeah, that's the quote-unquote exorcism. Right?
Okay.
And now it is July 1st, 1987, so it's like, I don't know, a year later. And we're in Spain now. And we see a beautiful, terrible white American family in a station wagon, and they're driving up a mountain. And they have moved to Spain. So it's the mom, I think her name's Julia. The daughter, she's like teen, she's a rebel, whatever.
Yeah,
she
a rebel.
doesn't wear enough clothing, you know.
Yeah.
She smokes cigarettes, you know. It's the 80s.
Yeah.
And then they have like a son, who's that kid you saw. He's probably, I don't know, 10, 12 or something.
Yeah.
And hasn't spoken in about a year. Since his dad died. Okay, so the father has died. And they have inherited, because he is now dead, this creepy ass, like, abbey in Spain.
Is that
like,
house we saw?
Yes, that's
Okay.
that house we saw. So, for some reason, this guy had this abbey, like, I guess,
Why not?
down the family line, whatever, and no one ever did anything about
The
it.
Europeans are always just inheriting castles.
You know how
and
it
shit.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on. Do you know how many 1960s television episodes there were where they would be like, you've inherited a castle in Europe, and they'd be like, that's weird, and they just go. The Monkeys, was it? Yeah, The Monkeys, I Dream of Jeannie, there's another one right on the tip of my tongue, I can't even remember. Like, they would just inherit, like, a house, and you would just go. and it was such a trope of the 1960s, I don't understand.
I feel like that stuff is, like, happening. Like, I know someone who technically would inherit a castle just randomly.
Yeah.
He would, yeah. So, I feel like that just happens.
Not to me, but okay.
No,
So-
not to us. We're peasants.
We're commoners. As we
Commoners.
discussed
As we
earlier.
discussed earlier. Those people are clearly upper middle class.
Yeah. We are not of the aristocracy.
No.
And so it's like this abbey, it's huge, whatever. And the mom is like, we don't have any money. But yet somehow they have money to fix up this place.
Yeah.
So they come in, there's a bunch of people like working on it. There's like a priest or whatever. What's his name? Father what?
It's like those, like, you know how they're like, buy this Italian Tuscan villa for $25,000. You just have to, like, that's what that is, except they got it for free.
What's the name of that priest? Oh, Esquivel is his last name. I don't know. So he's a Spanish priest or whatever. He's like, oh, it's so good for you to come or whatever. And she's like, yeah, it's so nice to be here. And she's like, yep, it's been a year since, you know, my husband has died. And the priest's like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, don't worry about it. Like, so it's just like, great. This woman is insane, right? So she's also got like a construction crew there who's fixing up the whole place, right? They're just there fixing whatever. And the kid, Henry, the boy, starts like looking around. He ends up at like the basement, and I don't know what draws him into it, but he like pulls like a big stone, and he sees like a weird symbol behind the wall, which of course is like, uh-oh, what's going on? Meanwhile, Russell Crowe, Father Amort, has got in trouble because of this pig exorcism or whatever.
Why?
So they're like, what are you doing? You're like, you
He's gone rogue.
Like, you didn't perform an exorcism, right? It's just like you were just like doing all these things, but also they like I guess the group of like priests or bishops or whatever don't really believe in like exorcism as a way to do all that stuff, or like even believe in demonic possession.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're doing like animal sacrifice, and he's like, it's what I was doing was more like just theater, right? Because this kid is mentally unwell. He's not going to get the mental health he needs because again, it's the 80s, it's a small town. But I can help him. I can get rid of this demon, even if it's psychological, right? Yeah. It's more like I'm helping him psychologically than I am giving him an exorcism. Yeah. And they're like, you can't do this. You know, we can basically, like, we can fire you. He's like, you can't fire me. He doesn't say you can't fire me, but basically, quit. Like, if you have a problem, I don't quit. You fire me, I'm going to collect unemployment. That's from The Nanny.
That's what the line, he says the line, like, if you have a problem, take it up with my boss, the Pope.
Yeah. Okay. So he's like, if you have a problem, like, you need to talk to my local bishop. I'm in Rome, so my local bishop is the Pope, right? Like, get fucked, basically. And he leaves, and he goes to, like, the Pope, and the Pope's like, these young priests, they just don't understand, you know? They just don't believe in it like we do.
You're right, John Paul II. They don't.
Yeah. Yeah, that is who it would be. But it's not him. He's Polish, so he wouldn't even sound like that. So yeah, he goes to like the Pope, and the Pope is like, what can you do, right? Yeah. So anyway, the one of the workers working on the Abbey, they like, they find the little hole with the weird symbol, and they're like, oh, I wonder what that is. And then they light like a flare or something, and I guess it ignites gas or something, and that guy like gets burnt and blows it up. Yeah. And so now the construction crew is like, we're gone. Bye.
There's a gas leak down there. You should not live in this house.
Yes.
How did the boy not die from methane poisoning?
I don't know. So it's probably, whatever. So it's a sinister fire. The worker's like, we're not going to go here anymore. And Henry starts to like have like seizures. So of course they take him to the hospital, and they're like, well, something's wrong with him. What's going on? And they're like, nothing shows up weird, and his chemistry panel, whatever, and the MRI. Yeah. Like, there's really nothing we can kind of do for you. And they're like, has anything happened recently? And they're like, yes, he's traumatized, basically, because he was in the accident that killed his father.
Oh, I see.
But let me tell you, the way the dad dies, he gets, like, impaled by, like, a pipe or something.
While driving?
Yeah, I don't know how it happens. I don't remember.
Ew.
But it's also like when the priest, Father Esquivel, is like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Just like don't worry about it." It's like, no, you should be worried about it. Like this kid needs therapy to the
yeah.
But they're like, "Oh, okay, like okay, whatever." So I guess word gets out about, you know, the things are going on. And the kid, Henry, starts to, like, you know, hurt himself, scratch himself. He's, like, hugging his mom, and he, like, grabs her boob or whatever. Ew. And is like, feed me, mommy, I'm hungry. It's so gross. Yeah, it's super gross. And he starts screaming. He's like, bring me the priest. And Father Esquivel shows up. He's like, I got this. And then he, I guess, like, power shoves him out of the room. And he's like, that's the wrong priest. So then the Pope is like, Father Amort.
They want you.
There is a little boy who needs an exorcism. You need to go to Spain. So Father Amort gets on his fucking moped. He mopeds from Rome to Spain. That's the only thing that makes sense because they have a shot of him just on his moped in like the road.
He's going 30 miles an hour.
He's going to get there in 30 days, but buddy, is he getting there?
Urgency.
No
He's getting there when he gets there.
Yes. So Martha arrives and he starts talking to Henry, right? And he's sort of used to these things being more psychological than an actual exorcism.
Yeah.
Right? So he's, again, checking to see, like, is this a psychological thing? What's going on? But as Henry is talking, he starts talking about things that he obviously shouldn't know.
Yeah.
Right? So he's just, like, taunting him about, like, World War II, because during World War II, apparently he, like, it's basically like survivor's guilt, right? Like, it was, you know, all the people, because he was in the war, like, got killed, and, you know, he pretended to play dead so he wouldn't die, or whatever, you know.
Which so he's like, gonna die in the movie, yeah.
So then Amort is like, I think this guy is legit, right?
Yeah.
So he asks Father Esquivel, you need to help me be my assistant.
Father Esquivel's
like,
also
I'm not an exorcist.
Yeah.
He's like, I've read your books, like, they were okay, but, like, I don't know if, you know. Well, actually, he hasn't even read the books. He's, like, heard of them. He's like, okay, you're gonna be my junior exorcist or whatever. You're gonna help me out.
Junior exorcist.
Yes, but then Henry, when they go in to, like, start doing the prayer or whatever, Henry is like, I know about you, Father Esquivel, and Father Esquivel, like, loses it. He, like, starts to, like, choke him, and he, like, so they have to pull him off.
Oh.
Yes.
What's the skeleton in his closet?
We'll find out.
Is he a pedophile?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's not a pedophile.
Okay.
He's not a pedophile.
He's gay.
You're just gonna guess. He has 7 toes. So again, they're trying to exorcise Henry. They're not having any sort of success. And then sometimes Henry seems to be okay, but then Amy, who is the sister, starts to, like, be like, she starts acting weird, or she's doing something.
She needs to be out of the room.
Yeah, so the problem, too, is, like, they're in there, like, we're gonna do the exorcism, and the kids' rooms are connected with just a door, and then, like, she's in her room sleeping, and the mom's in her room sleeping, and it's like, y'all, get out of the house!
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. So they start acting, and they're like, oh no, what's going on? And then Father Amort is like, hey, are you religious, to the mom? And she's like, nope. And he's like, okay. But he ends up convincing her to pray. And she, like, reveals that, like, she believed in her guardian angel when she was younger, so he's like, just keep praying your guardian angel, like, whatever. So she starts, you know, praying and stuff. And then in Rome, the Pope is getting sick, and because he's reading all these documents about some Spanish case from, like, a long time ago or something, and he's hospitalized.
Okay. Just randomly he's sick.
It's connected, but it's stupid.
The demon is infecting him through the knowledge of the demon.
So Amort starts, like, looking around, like, what can we do? And he finds a well. Right?
Oh, that weird catacomb thing.
Yes.
Okay.
He finds a well in there. And it was completely sealed off. Like, just completely sealed. Like, it seems like there's no way to get in there. And it seems to have been sealed by the church itself, right? So Amort is like, this is probably what, like, it must have gotten awoken by the construction, whatever it is. And he's like, this is clearly demonic, you know, dangerous, all that good stuff. So they go down there.
Of course. Let's explore the creepy demon well.
Yes, and there is, like, where you see that cage, you know, and it's in there, and they see, like, you know, the skeletons and stuff, and they're like, huh, interesting. And so they figure out that the Spanish Inquisition...
I was about to say, was it the Spanish Inquisition?
You never expect the Spanish Inquisition.
You never expect it, but I was, for a moment, I was like, they figure out. I was literally about to say, was it the Inquisition? Okay.
So the chief exorcist was possessed by a demon And that's why they were doing the Spanish Inquisition. This is what this story is saying. It's basically just saying the church is not liable because we were possessed by demons. Thoughts?
Wait,
Concerns?
okay, hold on. So, they're saying the Inquisition was started by a demon-possessed priest.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why he went cuckoo crazy, because he was possessed by a demon. And the demon said you gotta torture all these people and see who the real Christians are and kill the ones who aren't the real Christians. Because for some reason that furthers the demon's cause.
Yeah.
And not just kill all the Christians, period.
Yes. Satan works in mysterious ways. It is not up to us mere mortals to understand.
He surely does. Now I'm curious who made this movie and who wrote the script.
I need information.
I know. I'm like, what's the context behind this? Who is this? Did some Christians write this and think it would be cool and edgy, or is it just some? I don't know. I want to know.
Okay. I wanna know.
Can you show me? All right, that makes sense to me. So what was like all the conquistadors, were they also possessed by demons too? Like every
Probably.
bad thing?
I don't know. Listen, I can only tell you this, okay? I cannot go in depth historically about demonic possessions.
All right. Okay.
So, they're like, oh, so the Spanish Inquisition happened because the chief exorcist had been possessed by the demon. So in order to stop the demon, what they did was they basically put him in that cage, kept him so he couldn't leave, buried him underground, and like protected it, holy water and seals or whatever. But because it is opened up, right, the demon is now out.
Okay.
And also, of course, that the church covered up that this is why the Spanish Inquisition happened. So, when they're down there, they also discover the name of the demon that has possessed Henry, and his name is Osmodeus.
Oh, so okay, they're like, yeah. I know that one.
Oh, yeah, checks it. Yeah, you know that guy?
Yeah. He's the snake in Redwall.
Okay. So, they're like, okay, now that we know his name, we can, of course, once you know the demon's name, you can stop him.
Yeah.
So Amort and Esquivel, they're like, what we need to do is perform the sacrament of confession. Okay.
Sure.
So, so they both mutually confess about their crimes and absolve each other of their sins. So Amort, as we know, he, like during World War II, he, was like, I'm guilty of not dying, basically.
Okay, but like, which side was he on? Was he would have been with
He was part of the Italian resistance.
Okay.
Yes, he wasn't on the fascist side.
No, that's not. I was like, all right, but which?
But also, he has his guilt throughout this film. You see, like, this girl who is, like, diving off of, like, the top of this building.
Oh, yes, we saw that.
Yes, you saw it in the trailer. So he has his guilt because this young lady, they had said that she was possessed, and he was like, she's not possessed, she's just mentally unwell. But she ends up killing herself, so he blames himself for not doing enough to help her or to get the mental health that she needed, right? The mental health support. And so that's also some guilt he's living with.
I see.
Yeah. And so he feels like he didn't help her because of his pride, right? And so that's like the sin that he performed by not helping her. So he gets absolved, and then Esquivel, he reveals that he had sex with a young woman or whatever. I don't even know if it was I don't remember if it's before he became a priest or after, because in here it says he didn't marry her, so I don't know.
Oh.
So he's just like, oh no, right?
Lust.
Lust.
Yeah.
So they're both like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get ready. They like, Amort puts a special, I guess, metal necklace kind of thing on Esquivel to help him. To be like, this holds a symbol of our, our lady or Mary or whatever.
Gives him like a special rosary or something.
It's not a rosary. It says here a necklace.
Okay.
It's a medal, like medal, kind of thing.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. And so they're like, all right, we're gonna go in there and we're gonna, get this guy. But during this exorcism, they keep getting visions of like the woman they felled, right? So like the woman that Esquivel slept with, the girl that Amort couldn't save, and so they sort of fail in that exorcism. Okay. But Amort is like, oh no, what can we do? And he's like, I know what I'll do. He offers himself to be possessed by Asmodeus.
I called it.
Right?
Yeah. That's what he wanted the whole time.
Yes, right? Because if you go back to the Spanish Inquisition...
He possessed that Pope's exorcist, yeah.
Yes.
So that's what he wanted this whole time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Amort is like, okay, now I'm possessed. So he tries to hang himself.
Oh.
To kill him, right? Because if I'm dead, then you can't even, possess me.
Yeah.
But of course, the demon Asmodeus stops him. He doesn't allow him to happen. He's like, no, you're going to infiltrate the church and we're going to destroy the church, right?
We're going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
We're going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
So this is now turned into like Venom, but evil Venom.
Evil Venom.
Although arguably destroying the church is not, I don't know if that would be a net evil or not. Anyways.
Yeah, and they are back down in the creepy place, with the weird caged whatever.
Yeah.
And they're fighting the demon.
How are they fighting this demon? What does that visually look like?
Can I tell you?
Tell me.
This was the most disappointing part of the movie.
Okay.
Was this fight, because you think we're building up all this action, we should be you know, and it was pretty underwhelming. I can't even remember. It was over in the blink of an eye.
Oh.
It's not the best build up. Yes. But anyway, Esquivel helps Amort drive away the demon, and the demonic appearances resembling the two women go away, and they successfully banish Asmodeus back to hell.
Okay.
Now the Pope during this time is getting really, really sick, and he's almost seems to be dying. But of course they destroy or send Asmodeus back to hell, and the Pope is like,
I'm better. Yeah.
I'm better now, right? As does Henry. So Henry's like, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
So the Vatican is like, we need to stop this. So they end up buying this abbey from the family. Because they're like, we can't let this fall into regular people's hands because it's dangerous up there, right? So Esquivel and Amort go back to Rome. They're like, we did it!
But did they actually, or did Esquivel get possessed?
So they arrive.
Uh-huh.
And they're like, here, welcome to our special little secret agent room. And they open the door, and it's a super secret, we are looking at all these terrible places that have been might have demonic possession or whatever, right? So it's revealed that they're gonna send these two guys, Amort and Esquivel, to 199 other evil sites.
199?
Yes. So ideally there will be 199 more of these movies.
The beginning of the series.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And they're they had found a map at the abbey of these places. Right?
Oh, how convenient.
How convenient.
How convenient the demons left behind a map of all their evil sites.
Yes. So they're like, all right, here we go. We're going to go combat the devil in all these places, right?
Okay.
And Amor, as I guess they're leaving, are like, we're going to hell. Ha, 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 ha. Right. So, movie ends.
Okay.
Hold on.
There's a stinger.
Yes, there's a stinger.
It's a post-credits stinger.
Yes. So, it is basically... Oh my god, where is it? Like, the stinger comes on, and it's like... Father Amort was the head chief exorcist or whatever. He had over like 1,000 or 16,000. It's a stupid number.
Yeah.
Of exorcisms that he performs. And that's basically it.
Oh.
But he's a real guy, so like the post credit or whatever is like a picture of him and like his birth and stuff or something stupid. Yeah. And that's the movie.
I see. Okay.
Can I say?
Yeah,
hold on, I just want to, before you go in.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I thought was probably going to happen, because the Pope had been acting a little strange, that they hadn't actually banished.
Yeah.
That it was in one of them secretly and it was going to possess the Pope.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like the ending, I mean, the movie overall is not good, just like even in the beginning and the middle. But I feel like they could have done a lot more. I feel like they could have had more fun at the end.
Yeah. Like, oh, you thought you got it, but you didn't. It was in one of them this whole time.
Yes.
Okay, so you've told me the plot, but I want to know the experience of the film. How was the execution?
What do you mean the execution?
Like, because you're saying this is an amazing movie for you. What? Why?
Okay.
Yeah, take me into the film.
Take you into the film. So I think what I found really just amazing about this movie was Russell Crowe. It's just his accent is terrible. Okay? But he's so good. Like, he's just a great actor that, like, I can't take my eyes off of him. Okay. I think that's really what it is. Like, the story is terrible.
Yeah.
Script's not good. Like, for me watching it, I was watching it through Russell Crowe's eyes. I was in, like I said earlier, right? It's his world, we're just living in it.
Yeah.
And I was just vibing with him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, this movie is more a vehicle to appreciate Russell Crowe in like a nice priest outfit, running around in a bad accent.
I guess.
Acting.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the only game. It's like how my sister likes watching those, not Conjuring, or maybe it is Conjuring, those movies with Patrick Wilson in it. She's like, the movies aren't good, I just like Patrick Wilson. So, it seems like it's that.
Yes. And, like, there's just, like, little actress choices, like the moped. Like, why? Right? Why did you decide this was cool, right? Like, I want to get in your mind, Russell Crowe. I want to know, like, what are you going to buy with this paycheck? Do you need this money? Like, what? Like, what are you doing? You know? How do you spend your time on the set? Like, who's your accent coach? Is it you? Is it just you? Are you just doing it by yourself? Like, I think for me, it's I just have all these questions for Mr. Crow and no answers.
I see.
Yes.
Interesting. Why did you watch this movie?
I watched it because I heard a podcast talk about it. A different podcast, obviously. and the way they were talking about it, I was like, I am so intrigued right now. I need to see this movie. And then I did, and I was like, lived up to it, lived up to the hype. I don't expect anyone else to think this movie is good. I honestly don't think it's good. I just think it's enjoyable.
It sounds like it's almost camp, but it doesn't quite commit to being camp because it doesn't know it's camp. That's what it sounds like to me. Because, like, the priest on the moped is pretty hilarious. Like, that's you don't even have to include those shots. He could just appear.
You don't. Yes.
He could just...
We will just assume he took a train.
Yeah.
He took a plane.
Anything.
Like...
But to show him repeatedly with, like, the helmet or the hat or whatever, like, on the road, not once, but twice, maybe more than that. How do you not know that if you're going to include that sets the tone for the entire film as this is unserious, or that this should be played as camp, so as camp as possible, especially when they're doing that thing with the Spanish Inquisition, and then, like, he shoots the pig. Like, I don't know. I feel like it could get there. There's even some, like, homoeroticism with the sacrament of confession, of, like, confess to me your sins. Okay, Father, I will. Thou you confess your sins to me. Okay, Father, I will. I absolve you of your sins. Thank you, I absolve you as well. Here's a necklace I'm going to give you to protect you because I care. You're less experienced at this than I am. Just follow my lead. Like, I guess I could see... Maybe. I'm never going to watch this movie. I have no desire to watch this film whatsoever. But it could be high camp, and it doesn't commit.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I can see that. I also think that the Spanish Inquisition thing comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, it really...
it's just like, what? We're absolving y'all of this? Like, what?
Yeah, you can tell in the writer's room, they probably were like, no one will expect this. Haha, see what I did there? Like, which is camp! So, I don't know. Even the ending, there's 199 places. That's such a specific number. Like,
I know. It's so, like, there's 200, you did one. Now you gotta do 199. I'm gonna find out how many exorcisms.
He's got 199 problems, and then a demon is all of them.
Oh, okay. So he claims to have performed tens of thousands of exorcisms, at least 60,000.
60,000.
Yes.
All right. So, okay. Source? Like, how... he starts off...
What do you mean?
Skeptical. Did this, like, actually happen to him? Did this child burp up a bird? Like...
Oh, yeah, I forgot the kid does that. He does...
He said he did it in the trailer, yeah.
Yeah, he does it in the trailer. So this is based off, like, his books, but I don't think this is an actual, like, real-life story. At least the Spanish Inquisition and shit.
I know, that's totally 100%.
100% made up, but, like, all I know is, like, the sting is just, like, he performed over 100,000 exorcisms. But he's dead, so I don't think it matters.
I just saw a picture of him. He does not look like Russell Crowe.
He wishes he looked like Russell.
Based on the 1990 book, An Exorcist tells his story. And the 1992 book, An Exorcist, More Stories.
Wow, more stories? Well, if you've exercised 100,000, I imagine you'd have more stories.
Dominus Crow, The Pope's Exorcist is standard issue holy horror in most respects, but its star's sanctified performance will be the answer to some viewers' prayers. And I like this statement, but for the opposite reason. The International Association of Exorcists, which apparently is a thing, called the title of the film pretentious and claimed that its Da Vinci Code-esque conspiratorial plot poses unacceptable doubt to the public as to who the real enemy is, the devil or ecclesiastical power. I want to know who they think the real enemy is, because I don't think we agree on that.
I don't think either of us are right.
Oh, Russell Crowe got nominated for a Razzie.
I like how happy you are. Yay!
Oh, there's gonna be a sequel. Alright, who wrote this? Who wrote this and what did you work on? One of the writers wrote Till Human Voices Wake Us, The Dangerous Lives of Altar Boys, Queen of the Damned. Oh, I remember seeing this DVD. I'm saving that to read that one later. Possession, Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which I haven't seen, because I think that...
Okay.
I tried reading that book multiple times and when I was younger and thought it was boring. And I have no real desire to watch this movie. Even though that one guy who ended up getting pretty big is in it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No idea.
Will Poulter. That was his, first big thing.
I have no idea who that is. Oh, that kid.
Yeah. I don't know how else to
He was
describe
Who
him.
was he? Was he the...
He's the
kid?
you guys are getting paid guy in
I know who that... I know the
We're
meme.
the Millers. Yeah. I don't know what else you would know him in. War Machine, The Revenant. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Okay.
Yes, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know who he is.
This guy also wrote The Book Thief. Oh, here we go. We start The Downfall with The Right. He wrote that in 2011, which is about exorcisms. The second writer wrote The Jungle Book 2, Pooh's Heffalump movie,
I like that movie.
and then the Dwayne Johnson Hercules.
The best Hercules.
Also, The Battle for Terra, Art Heist, The Huntsman, Winter's War, the second one, Beauty and the Beast, the live action, Charlie's Angels remake, The Unholy. Alright, here's the beginning of the descent. And then
the last time.
Snake Eyes. I know, it's the both of them. Because I'm like, what kind of stuff are they doing? He also... What did he do? He also wrote The Lion King 1.5, Mickey, Donald, Goofy, The Three Musketeers.
I love both those movies!
Tarzan 2, Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time. That's actually a pretty solid movie.
I remember that movie.
The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Beginning, the Nutty Professor animated movie, and
You really did a lot of Disney.
Tinkerbell and the Lost Treasure.
I think I've seen that one.
I have seen that one. That's the beginning of the Tinkerbell movies.
Oh.
And he did the Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Interesting. So he did a whole bunch of Disney and then transferred over to the live action Disney and action, and then did one horror movie, one supernatural horror movie, The Unholy, and then went to this. And then the other guy just kind of was all over the place. Did one supernatural horror movie and then did this one. Oh, he's working on another one, Messiah. Okay, whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever. So curious. Is he working on what he likes to work on now? He also wrote Snake Eyes, the G.I. Joe movie.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, this is... Oh my god. The real Gabriel Amor is really creepy looking. I don't like this picture of him.
Don't look at him.
On the Wikipedia page. His work in demonology and exorcism. Alright, let me find the controversies. He said yoga is satanic.
That's true.
Because it leads to the practice of Hinduism. And all Eastern religions are based on a false belief in reincarnation. It leads to evil, just like reading Harry Potter. He said this in 2011. He was invited to introduce the 2011 film The Rite, which one of the writers had written. Edward Peters, a professor of canon law, finds Amort's claims to have personally performed 30,000 exorcisms over 9 years astounding. Even accepting the claim that only 94 of these exorcisms represented full-blown possession, that would have required roughly one case a month to be thoroughly examined and processed over 9 years with hardly a break. I don't have much else to say about this movie other than I'm never going to watch it. I don't really see the appeal beyond it's Russell Crowe, which I will say from the trailer, I get it. Because that accent is hilarious.
It's hilarious. The accent is so funny. The movie does that stupid thing where people are speaking different languages. Like, just pick a language.
Yeah.
Just stick to one.
I like that they're like, oh no, this guy's speaking in English, so he's possessed by a devil, and then Russell Crowe proceeds to speak in English the rest of the movie. Like, I don't know.
He actually goes, like, into Italian. He goes into, like, Italian and English. He does both. Yeah.
Can he speak Italian? Or did he just have a dialect coach?
I don't know, but in the film he's speaking Italian. I don't know Italian well enough to know whether he has an accent when he speaks Italian.
Well, he's a New Zealand-born Australian actor, so I kind of doubt he can speak Italian.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Alright, Corinne.
Alright,
How many stars out of 5 would you give it?
1.
Damn, it's hard out here.
This might be one of my first 1 stars.
I think you've done multiple 1 stars.
Have I?
I don't know.
Well, this
I
one
feel like
is
you're
so
more
good.
critical of films than I am.
Yeah, but I often settle on 3 because I'm like, I don't like it, but I could see the artistic value in this movie, so I'm not going to give it a terrible review. But this one, I don't see any.
I give it a 3.
Okay.
The reason for a 3 is it's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
It's stupid. It's not a great movie. Like, you can put it on and kind of just, like, zone in and out. You know.
Uh-huh.
Like, I would watch it again, but I wouldn't say it's a favorite movie.
You were watching it again.
I was watching it again, and I was enjoying it. And I was kind of upset I had to fast forward.
Alright. Well, if you watched The Pope's Exorcist...
Or if you're like, why would I watch that movie, and now you're intrigued, please do.
Yeah, and let us know what you think. Monze, where can they find us?
You can find me on you can find me on Instagram at
Where?
you can find me
Where can I find you?
on Instagram at Magic Monster. Thank you. What about you, Corinne?
You can find me on Instagram at Karina's Korea. That's 1 R and 2 N's. And you can find us.
Oh yeah, fuck.
You're doing great. What is it? We Don't Watch Movies Pod?
Yes. You can find us at We Don't Watch Movies Pod, also on Instagram.
On Instagram. We post new episodes every Friday.
I try to post on Instagram on Fridays. I try really hard to do it.
Yeah. And you should watch them because I think they're funny. Also, if you have a suggestion for a movie for us to talk about, let us know. If we haven't watched it, or only one of us has watched it, then we'll add it to the list.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Give us suggestions. All right.
Reach out. Talk to us.
Please. We're so lonely.
No.
Yeah.
I have a cat, so I'm so not alone.
I have my unexorcised demons in my apartment. Okay. Anyways, we'll talk to you later. Bye. And thanks for listening.